Respected viewers, dear family of dreamers, beloved listeners, I want you to take a slow, deep breath with me before we step into this journey. Imagine for a moment that time itself is a river, flowing steadily, sometimes violently, sometimes calm. And you, standing at the edge, holding nothing but your hopes, your dreams, and perhaps a lingering fear that the river might sweep you away. Life has a strange way of testing us, of measuring patience against desperation, of revealing how deeply we understand the value of delayed gratification. It whispers to us that wealth is not merely numbers in an account, but the accumulation of lessons learned through struggle, the quiet victories in unseen battles, the courage to take the first step when fear tells you to run. And today, as we look at a world that has witnessed tremors of conflict, and as we peer into the opportunities arising in the post-war UAE, I want you to feel the weight of destiny pressing gently upon your shoulders, reminding you that the choices you are make today ripple into the wealth, the freedom, the peace you will inhabit tomorrow. Beloved listeners, let us start with honesty. How many of you have felt that gnawing worry that comes when you check your empty wallet, or the pang of inadequacy when you compare yourself to those who seem to have figured out the secrets of money? I have been there too. Long nights sitting with nothing but a small notebook and an idea, wondering if I dared to step into the world of investing, the world of business, with a trembling heart and empty pockets. It is in those moments that life teaches you your first hard financial lesson. Wealth is not made in haste. It is grown, carefully, tenderly, with patience, and with respect for the rules of time. For some, the fear of starting is like a shadow that follows them for years. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect knowledge, the perfect capital. And yet, that moment never comes. Because life rewards those who act despite fear, who stumble and rise, who learn before earning, who endure before enjoying. Let me share with you a story. Imagine a young soul sitting on the edge of a small rented room in a city far from prosperity. Every coin earned is accounted for. Every expense is a battle. And the dreams of owning even a tiny property, of having financial freedom, of giving their family a life beyond struggle seem almost mythical. This young soul begins small, perhaps selling simple goods, perhaps tutoring a neighbor's children, perhaps investing a few dollars in a venture that collapses in a week. Failure comes, often, again and again. And yet, through each failure, a seed of wisdom is planted. Patience is nurtured. Discipline is learned. Delayed gratification is no longer a theory but a necessity. The young soul discovers that to wait is not weakness, to endure is not suffering, and to plan for the long term is a silent form of courage. In these early steps, we encounter what I call the poverty mindset, that nagging voice that whispers, "You are not enough. You cannot. You will fail." I want you to pause and feel that voice, acknowledge it, and then, with calm determination, let it go. Every millionaire, every investor, every visionary once walked that same path. They knew the fear, they knew the struggle, but they chose to move forward anyway. The key lesson here is simple, yet profound. Wealth begins with a mindset that believes in the slow compounding of effort, in the patient nurturing of ideas, in the quiet consistency of action when results are invisible. Beloved listeners, there is another story I must share of a person who believed they were clever enough to shortcut the process, to chase the quick wins. They invested in schemes that promised rapid growth. They bought properties in volatile markets without research. They were seduced by glamour and headlines. And within months, they saw their savings dwindle. Dreams shatter, hope waver. Yet the pain of loss was not wasted. It was transformed into humility, into understanding, into a wiser, steadier approach. The lesson here is not merely to avoid mistakes, but to embrace the hard lessons. To understand that money without discipline is fleeting, that wealth without patience is fragile, and that the journey is where true financial strength is forged. And so, dear family of dreamers, as we turn our gaze toward the UAE, a land that has seen the echoes of war yet rises with resilience, I want you to understand that opportunities are not found in luck. They are cultivated through wisdom, through reflection, through the quiet fortitude of one who has learned to see beyond the immediate. Imagine, if you will, standing in the bustling streets of Dubai or Abu Dhabi, seeing skyscrapers glinting in the sun, but knowing that true wealth lies not in admiration, but in the courage to invest. In sectors that will sustain, that will grow, that will honor the patience of your heart. Let me guide you gently. The first step is reflection. Pause. Assess your own financial journey. What lessons have been hard-earned? Where have you faltered? Where have you shown resilience? It is only through understanding your own financial story that you can make wise choices in a post-war economy. Because the market does not forgive ignorance, it rewards preparation, insight, patience, and the quiet persistence of a soul that is not swayed by fear or temptation. Think of this as planting a tree. You do not expect fruit tomorrow, perhaps not even in a year, but with steady care, consistent watering, protection from storms, the tree grows, slowly, invisibly at first, until one day the shade and fruit it provides is undeniable. This is how wealth is built, not in shortcuts, not in reckless speculation, but in steadfast investment of time, knowledge, and measured risk. And I cannot stress enough, consistency is your greatest ally. The individual who invests a small portion of earnings regularly, who studies markets quietly, who seeks knowledge from those who have walked before, that individual is planting seeds that will bloom into decades of security. Patience is not passive. It is active. It is deliberate. It is a discipline of the mind and heart. And this is where the magic happens. The compounding of effort, the layering of experience, the growth of confidence, all converging into a financial foundation that is both resilient and liberating. Beloved listeners, remember, fear is always present at the start. Fear of loss, fear of inadequacy, fear of being judged, but it is in the embrace of fear, in the choice to move forward anyway, that true courage emerges. And with courage comes clarity. With clarity comes focus. With focus comes the ability to discern opportunity from illusion, risk from chance, vision from distraction. And when you approach the post-war UAE market with this lens, you are not merely seeking profit. You are seeking alignment with your long-term purpose, your vision, your freedom. The story of money is never just numbers. It is the story of people, of struggle, of hope, of quiet determination in the face of uncertainty. Each dollar invested wisely carries with it not just potential for return, but a testament to the lessons learned, to the patience endured, to the courage summoned. And as you step into this new landscape, remember that every investor who achieves true, lasting wealth started with the same things you have now: a dream, a willingness to learn, and the determination to act despite fear. And so, dear family of dreamers, as we prepare to explore the top 5 investment opportunities in the UAE for 2026, I ask you to hold this truth close to your heart. The journey matters more than the destination. The lessons matter more than the gains. The discipline matters more than the shortcuts. And if you approach this with humility, patience, and unwavering focus, the path to financial growth and to peace of mind will unfold before you in ways you may not yet imagine. Remember that every setback you have endured, every sleepless night, every cautious step, every small failure has been quietly shaping you, preparing you for the moment when opportunity arises, when the world shifts, when markets evolve, when nations rebuild after turmoil. The prepared, disciplined, patient investor is ready, not just to survive, but to thrive, to turn challenges into stepping stones, to transform uncertainty into clarity, and to cultivate wealth that is both tangible and meaningful. Beloved listeners, Hold on to the stories of struggle you carry, for they are not burdens. They are the seeds of wisdom. They are reminders that money without purpose is empty, that speed without patience is fleeting, that fear without action is wasted energy. And now, as we gently begin to turn our gaze toward actionable opportunity in a land reborn, keep these lessons close. Let them guide your eyes, your choices, and your heart. For the journey you embark upon today will define the freedom, the security, and the abundance of your tomorrow. And so, dear family of dreamers, let us take one last pause before we step into the next part. Reflect. Breathe. Feel the weight of your journey and the promise of what lies ahead, because the story of your wealth is waiting to be written. And the first chapter begins with understanding, patience, and the courage to act. Now, beloved listeners, let us move quietly into the realm of deeper wisdom. Here, the lessons of patience evolve into the discipline of vision. For many, the hardest part of investing is not choosing what to buy, but learning to wait, to endure, to commit silently when the world is noisy with doubt. You see, results are rarely immediate. The market does not rush to reward those who demand instant gratification. The greatest investors, the ones whose names echo in history, understood that time is the ultimate ally, that the invisible labor of today compounds into the visible success of tomorrow, and that the moments when nothing seems to happen are often the very moments when the foundation of future wealth is being laid. Imagine yourself planting a small seed in a desert. The sun blazes, the wind howls. There is no sign of growth for weeks, months. Yet beneath the surface, roots are stretching, reaching, preparing for the day when the plant will rise strong and unyielding. This is your financial journey. The investments you make today in knowledge, discipline, and carefully chosen opportunities may appear dormant, invisible, even frustrating. But they are quietly growing, shaping a future that only patience can reveal. Dear family of dreamers, it is here that the silent sacrifices reveal their profound power. The mornings you wake early to study markets, the evenings you spend refining your understanding, the small comforts you postpone in favor of long-term stability, all of these acts unseen by others are the true currency of wealth. They teach emotional discipline, the ability to resist temptation, the clarity to distinguish between fleeting hype and enduring opportunity. In a post-war economy like the UAE's, where fear and uncertainty linger in whispers, this discipline becomes your shield and your compass. Consider this: wealth built without emotional mastery is fragile. It crumbles at the first storm. It is the investor who masters silence, who bears the discomfort of waiting, who continues steadily when results are invisible, who ultimately reaps enduring abundance. You may not feel progress each day. You may not see the returns each month, but if your actions align with wisdom, patience, and consistency, the results will manifest exponentially, dramatically, almost magically. And let us not forget mindset, the invisible framework that dictates every financial decision. Beloved listeners, fear is constant, doubt is persistent, distraction is relentless. Yet by cultivating a mindset that honors long-term thinking, that values consistency over spectacle, that sees through the illusions of immediate success, you gain an advantage few possess. You learn to navigate uncertainty, to invest where others panic, to grow when others retreat, and in doing so, you move closer to financial freedom with each deliberate step. The UAE, post-war, offers a landscape rich in both challenge and opportunity. Sectors rising from reconstruction, economies pivoting toward technology, finance, logistics, and sustainable energy. These are the arenas where disciplined, patient investors can quietly position themselves, not with reckless speed, but with thoughtful research, with calculated risk, with the inner calm to wait while the market finds its footing. Here, consistency is more powerful than luck, insight more valuable than speculation, and emotional resilience more important than bravado. Beloved listeners, think of every dollar you commit not merely as money, but as intention, as a vote for your future self. Every decision made with patience, every calculated risk, every sacrifice of short-term comfort in favor of long-term gain. These are the acts that shape wealth that endures. It is not the dramatic swings that define your success. It is the steady accumulation, the daily choices, the quiet moments when you reaffirm your commitment to purpose and discipline. And as you embark upon this journey into the top opportunities in the UAE, remember that invisible growth is the most potent growth. The slow, steady expansion of your knowledge, your portfolio, and your emotional discipline will allow you to recognize the right moment, seize the right opportunity, and turn calculated investments into lasting wealth. No frenzy, no fear, just calm, consistent action, rooted in wisdom, guided by vision, and supported by the deep understanding that time is your greatest ally. So, beloved listeners, take this message into your heart. The invisible work you do today, the research, the reflection, the disciplined action, may feel unnoticed, unrewarded, or even frustrating. But I assure you, this is where the seeds of future abundance are planted. This is where the strength of your financial character is forged. This is where the foundation for enduring success is quietly set, and when the day comes, when the UAE's markets flourish and opportunity ripens, you will be ready, not by chance, but by choice, by patience, by the silent, unwavering commitment to long-term vision. Now, beloved listeners, let us arrive at clarity. Let us breathe deeply and step into a space of calm confidence. The journey you have undertaken, the lessons you have absorbed, the discipline you have cultivated, they converge here, in this moment of understanding. In the post-war UAE, a land of resilience and rebirth, the opportunities are clear. To those who can see beyond the noise, beyond the fear, beyond the immediate headlines, they are visible to the steady, the patient, the wise. First, consider technology and AI, sectors not merely trending, but foundational to the future. Imagine companies developing solutions that power smart cities, energy efficiency, cybersecurity, and innovation at scale. The long-term returns for those who invest with insight, who study, who position themselves with patience, will be profound. It is not about chasing every fad. It is about aligning with the trajectory of growth. Next, finance and banking, the arteries through which the economy flows. Strong institutions in the UAE, disciplined, well-capitalized with foresight, to adapt will reward the patient investor. Look not only at stock prices, but at stability, dividends, and long-term governance. It is these measured, rational decisions that compound quietly, invisibly, steadily, into lasting wealth. Real estate, too, the heartbeat of tangible growth. After the turbulence of conflict, property markets often present moments of paradox. Prices may appear low, sentiment uncertain. Yet those who discern value, who understand demographics, urban planning, and the long-term potential of a city like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, can create enduring streams of income and capital growth. Patience here is literal. It is the act of waiting for the city's pulse to stabilize, for demand to return, for scarcity to manifest in value. Then the sectors of renewable energy and logistics, quietly rising, strategically essential, aligned with global priorities. Investing here is not just financial, it is visionary. These are industries built for the long haul, designed to grow as nations pivot toward sustainability and efficiency. The patient, informed investor sees this as planting a forest rather than picking a flower. Finally, startups and innovation-driven businesses, the heartbeat of future growth. Riskier, yes, but with risk tempered by knowledge, mentorship, and selective patience. To participate here is to acknowledge that not every seed will sprout, but the ones that do can transform your life and the lives of countless others. Beloved listeners, notice the common thread. In all these opportunities, the key is not speed, it is not hype, it is consistency, emotional discipline, thoughtful analysis, and unwavering patience. Wealth built this way is resilient. It withstands storms. It does not waver when markets fluctuate. It grows quietly, surely, and powerfully. And so, dear family of dreamers, as you reflect upon these avenues, breathe. Feel the calm that comes from understanding. Know that you are not merely chasing returns. You are cultivating a life of purpose, a legacy of vision, a path of inner peace aligned with external abundance. In this calm, grounded state, you can make decisions that are informed, wise, and deeply connected to your long-term goals. Remember, abundance is not measured in the rapidity of gains, but in the depth of preparation, the consistency of action, the clarity of thought, and the serenity to endure when results are invisible. The UAE offers you fertile soil, but it is your discipline, patience, and insight that will transform opportunity into lasting wealth. Beloved listeners, take this moment to center yourself, to feel the quiet power within, the confidence that comes not from luck but from readiness. The journey of investing is as much about building your inner landscape as it is about the external one. The calm, confident mind sees through uncertainty, navigates risk with wisdom, and recognizes value where others see chaos. And as you step forward, consider each choice carefully, act with measured courage, and embrace the quiet satisfaction of knowing that true wealth, true abundance, comes not in haste, but in harmony with time, discipline, and purpose. Beloved listeners, dear family of dreamers, as we draw this journey to its quiet, powerful close, I want you to feel the weight and the wonder of what we have explored together. Your path toward wealth, especially in a post-war landscape like the UAE, is not a sprint, it is a deliberate, soulful journey. One that honors patience, discipline, and the quiet power of consistency. Every lesson of struggle you have endured, every moment of fear before you took a step, every sacrifice of comfort for long-term vision has not been in vain. They have built the foundation of resilience, the inner strength required to see opportunity where others see only uncertainty. True abundance is born in this space where patience meets purpose, where delayed gratification meets disciplined action, and where your vision for the future is larger than your fear of today. Remember, wealth is never merely the accumulation of assets. It is the embodiment of your values, your wisdom, and your ability to endure and act with clarity when the world is uncertain. It is the calm confidence that allows you to invest in what truly matters, to recognize the sectors, the opportunities, and the ideas that will stand the test of time. Whether it is technology, banking, real estate, renewable energy, or startups, your alignment with purpose and patience magnifies every decision. Beloved listeners, let this be your guiding light. Act with discipline, nurture your vision, remain consistent when the world doubts, and cultivate the inner peace that comes from knowing you are building not just wealth but freedom, not just gains but legacy. Your journey is yours alone, and the choices you make with patience and insight today will ripple into decades of security, prosperity, and fulfillment. So step forward, with quiet courage, with clarity of mind, with serenity of heart, and with the understanding that abundance is not rushed. It is grown, steadily, faithfully, and powerfully. The world may tremble, economies may shift, and uncertainty may linger, but the disciplined, patient, wise investor, the one who honors the slow work of preparation, will always find themselves standing in calm confidence, reaping rewards, not just of wealth, but of peace, freedom, and purpose. Embrace your journey, trust your process, and know that the life you are building, the abundance you are nurturing, is already unfolding, quietly, powerfully, beautifully,